Welcome back to Berlin, everyone, and the LCS Summer Split, and our very last game of Week 8, Fnatic versus Splyce. But first, let me welcome G2's mid laner PerkZ, who just won our match of the week. Congratulations.
Well, first of all, let me welcome you guys.
Thank
you all.
Thank you so much,
Thank you
PerkZ.
so much. No one ever does that. Thank you, PerkZ. That's cool. Before we talk about the intricacies of the game, there's a player of the game. It was won by VoD with 44% of the votes, and interestingly, you had only 1% votes less. So you almost got it.
He did a good ult here, but he missed a ult, so I think the fans are wrong.
Yeah, so when I saw this...
I don't think it should be me. I think it should be Jankos, maybe.
Ooh,
I don't know.
That's interesting.
He played pretty well.
When I saw that play,
yeah, sure.
When I saw that play, I noticed, oh yeah, it looks really cool, but he actually missed both the carries.
Did he?
And so both of them, they looked like they could have got away, but obviously G2 were able
Yeah, but they
to
have Tahm Kench as well, so he has to ult the Tahm Kench.
That's true. That is true.
It looked flashy, and it looked like it was with
It
you,
looked
so
clean.
that's what it goes with. How happy are you with the performance? Beating Misfits is still a big thing, of course.
I mean, I expected us to smash them a bit faster than this, so a little bit disappointed that we didn't win faster. I'm happy though that we got our first 2 a week in I don't know how long time. It feels like forever. So it feels like we are going up again, and that's just the perfect timing before playoffs. So I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I just want to ask you one more question about playoffs. Things are heating up. Sjokz is looking extremely strong, but just in general, the top is looking very competitive. What are your thoughts towards playoffs and how competitive they are going to be, the best of fives?
Yeah, actually, Sjokz is looking super good. Like, I have to say, their macro is like really good, and their players are really good. So I have a question about Sjokz when they don't have like the only champs they play, like Poppy, Sejuani, Braum, Alistar.
Yeah.
I'm yet to see them play on the other champs, so I don't know about their versatility and like how well will they play then. But right now they seem like their macro is just really good, you know. So,
Better than Fnatic?
I don't know, because Fnatic is just more aggressive.
Yeah.
So you can't. I mean, they just like Fnatic just. I don't know. They just roam everywhere with Hylissang and Broxah, and they kill everyone, and that's how they win games. They don't like. I mean, they play obviously well macro, but they don't like. They don't play slow games. They play like super fast games. So it's like they're just smurfing.
They just roll over the.
Yeah, or they get rolled over like versus Splyce or Vitality or something. So we are to like. We have yet to see, but Fnatic seems to be really, really strong now as well.
Well, sorry, I'm just going to introduce the matchup before we get completely off track. It is our final game of the week, Fnatic versus Splyce. First up, Reckless is no longer on the lineup today. He was yesterday, but Vedius, what did you want to say?
So it's funny because it ties in perfectly with that. So great pivot there, Sjokz. Given that we have PerkZ on the desk, you talk about how they love to play proactive and how even when they are like super aggressive, they rely a lot on their individual skill, they still have a good understanding of how to play the map. But they definitely slowed down a little bit yesterday when we saw them playing with Reckless. And that's not to say that like they didn't play towards their strengths, which was very much playing around mid lane, trying to enable caps. But when you do have Reckless on the squad, my question to you is, PerkZ, do you think that it is a different style of Fnatic compared to when you have Bwipo?
I mean, it should be, but yesterday they had like basically the same style, but they had like Ezreal who's farming bot and Pyke who is just smurfing all over the map. So I think the key player for Fnatic is Hylissang the whole split long, and he's been their best player. So as long as you shut him down, like he had only one bad game that I can remember on Alistar in the whole split.
Yes.
So every other game he's just like faker or something. So he just needs to be shut down, and then Fnatic is like not as strong.
Oh wow, that's not an opinion we hear that often. We will be tracking that throughout the playoffs, of course. What do you think of this whole situation now with Reckless coming back by the end of the split and them signaling that they're going to try kind of every possibility of the roster?
Well, but Fnatic is like super good individual players and a really good team, so they actually have the luxury of doing that, like figuring out what is the best. But if it was like any other team, I would say it's the worst choice. I mean, I think anyways, Reckless stepping back was not a good choice. That's not what that's what I think. And I think it does put them in a setback. But considering how strong they were before, like Spring Split, it doesn't put them in such a big setback that maybe it's like relevant, right? So we are yet to like find out, and I don't know who are they better with. Like honestly, I think Bwipo just still brings more to the table because of like flex picks and being able to play bruisers, mages, and AD carries. Even though AD carries are really good, they do play super well without AD carries, right? So and they play really well around caps carrying them without like.
That's the golden.
Yeah, exactly. So it just depends because, like you said, with Reckless, they might have to switch the style if they have like different champs than Pyke, Ezreal. So we're yet to see that.
We are yet to see. Youngbuck did put out a tweet earlier today where he said, we were always going to play Reckless the first day and then put Bwipo in and sOAZ top lane. The next day, we're just trying to see who the best stress capable, I don't remember the word exactly.
They're trying to stress test.
Yeah, stress test exactly the lineups going into playoffs and seeing what we want to go with. So we'll see there. This is, of course, quite an important matchup with the battle for first place in mind. They're up versus Splyce. Splyce is locked in playoffs, but will be looking to move a bit up in the standings also going into playoffs.
So the perfect storyline for our narrative would be that Splyce actually wins here. So the top 4 teams are all tied with the same score.
Nobody
and then
cares about our narrative.
We do have a wonderful fight for first.
Yes.
But coming into this, it will definitely be a challenge. They do kind of look like the weakest team right now in playoffs. They are one of our slowest teams in the league, given that they don't usually play towards early game. Even if they draft that way, that's not how they find a lot of wins. And when you think back to that LeBlanc game that we saw Nisqy have, they were not at an advantage. They were actually finding themselves in a deficit, and it is a concern when you still consider that a lot of games are still decided by your impact in the early game.
What do you think Splyce issues are?
I feel like Splyce just has no threat. Like, I feel like their only threat was like Nisqy and Zoe before. They had like the comp, they were playing like Zoe, Rumble, and Jhin. So they would like have these only champs they were playing together, and those are the combos they will find win with. But the ones like we won 2 champs or something, we just smashed them so hard. So it's I don't know, it's so hard for me to tell.
Do you consider them a threat in playoffs?
No, I feel like they're like no threat at all.
Okay.
Just ban 2 champs and they cannot play the game.
Well then, so I guess your prediction for this one is Fnatic. No competition.
Yeah.
All right, Vedius, do you agree?
Yes, unless Splyce do what they did last time they went up against Fnatic and they were able to find an amazing early game start.
Give me their win condition. So early game start?
Well, I mean, so I think you have to do what you did back in spring, which is play through top. Like, the best Splyce I've ever seen is when you have Xerxe on a high early game impact jungler and Odoamne on a carry. Yeah. And then when Xerxe permacamps top and gets Odo ahead, he is someone that I think can carry. Especially when I saw his Gnar performance yesterday, I believe that he has the ability to do it. But we haven't seen Splyce play like that for weeks. So I don't know if there's something going to switch to that style, but I think it is one way in which you can find a win.
When you think about Fnatic and their strengths, PerkZ, do you think they will be against you guys or against whoever, no matter what, a finals team again? Or could anyone stand in their way?
Yeah, I think it's going to be us against Fnatic in finals.
Again? Yeah. What about Sjokz?
Sjokz is really good, but
are you
like
going to knock him out?
Fnatic or us will ban Braum and Analyst and Sejuani. Then they will not win the series.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens. Splyce win over Roccat, though. We saw something that might also help them today versus Fnatic. It was a 200 million thousand IQ insane play from kaSing. We're going to take another look at that one with Ender.
Thank you, Sjokz. In heated moments like team fights, it's hard to keep your cool and make the correct decisions. Today, I want to highlight kaSing's great use of Tahm Kench to save his AD carry in this fight. And also highlight Splyce's ability to find a winning fight in a game where their composition was not built to take down the 5 versus 5. And it all starts with their great control of the side lane. So notice top lane, Odoamne is shoving out on the Gnar. Bottom lane, Nisqy is getting that wave pushing on the LeBlanc. And it sets up for this play. You'll see that as you move forward, Blanc has to respond. He goes up into the top lane to clear away this minion wave and walks straight over ward. And immediately, you'll see on your mini-map that the rotations have come in. Now that the waves have shown out, Gnar is going to rotate down from the top side. Nisqy is going to be looking for his flank underneath the rest of Roccat. And that makes it for such an easy collapse now that Roccat try to move into their side of the jungle and get down some vision. But here's what it all comes down to kaSing, because he uses his stopwatch here, baiting out both ultimates from the bot lane of Roccat. 2 huge cooldowns that are pivotal to Roccat winning a team fight, and it sets up for Odoamne, who you'll see approaching from the top side on this rotation, has the Gnar bar primed and ready to get a 3-man stun into this wall. And it just sets up so perfectly because Roccat are baited in by kaSing. It leads into this fantastic combination from Odoamne, and you'll notice that because Hikyu gets blown up almost immediately, he doesn't die, but he's zoned out of the rest of the fight. There's never two carries, Blanc and Hikyu, there to participate in this team fight. While Blanc tries to take things into his own hand with the flash ultimate, all of a sudden kaSing turns everything around with incredible play on that Tahm Kench, saving his AD carry Kobbe, and then just does one extra bit, one little part extra, using the ultimate there to bail Kobbe out of that situation. Now, I'd never seen Tahm Kench's ult used just like that in a professional game, but it was an absolute treat and shows just how comfortable kaSing is on that champion. Now, if Splyce want to take down Fnatic, they need to keep making big plays like this. Quickshot, over to you.
Well, we'll have to see if they can pull it off. Welcome back to the Caster Desk. Friends, family, and loved ones. It is about time for Fnatic versus Splyce. And of course, Fnatic are the huge favorites in this matchup. Splyce,
oh yeah,
they don't have the strongest early game, Deficio, and Fnatic are pretty good at that phase of the game.
yeah, it feels like Splyce have to survive the early game to win against Fnatic. Let's see if they can actually do it. It is Bwipo playing, so I wonder what we're going to get in the bot lane.
Well, that's the question I have for you, because when I heard and saw that Bwipo was coming in, I expected bruises, I expected kill lane. Last week, Xayah was banned when he was playing against Fnatic.
Right.
PerkZ just said, unequivocally, that he plays 80 carries and bruises and kill lanes. What is he going to play?
Let's see. I mean, if he can truly play all of it, and he's able to play 80 carries at a professional level, then suddenly you're adding insane flexibility when you put in this guy. But we need to see it first. On the big stage, there's a high chance he just grabs a Vladimir or a Swain, and then he does what he normally does, which is kill people once he gets the first item.
Well, Swain, 2 wins, 1 loss. Ryze, 2-0. Hylissang's Pyke is currently 6-0 in the EU LCS, 7-0 if you include Rift Rivals, and Hylissang's Pyke is terrifying.
It is insane. First pick yesterday, first pick today.
Is it the right call?
Akali's banned, Aatrox's banned, Talia's banned.
Oh man, that's a surprise. Pivoting away, Sejuani locked in. Now Broxah's still undefeated on the champion.
I mean, they banned Xerxe's Trundle.
Yeah.
So like his main weapons are gone right now. Splyce might just go Gragas here, use it as a flex choice on their side. Zoe is open if Nisqy wants to play it. It has been the go-to pick for him for so long. But he's doing it against Caps. And that's always kind of one of the things. Blind picking mid laners against Fnatic is kind of risky.
Yes.
Because you know, like, you might just get camped. Like, level 1, the support is there to kill you. Level 2, the jungler is there. And if you're playing something that can fall behind, man, it's so rough.
I love that you mentioned level 1, because I think Fnatic have had the most creative level 1s of any EU LCS team all split long. So many times they get some advantages nice and early on, and that's before you even take into account some of the roaming and, you know, plays across the lanes.
And that's, again, one of the things I love about Fnatic is the 1v1 matchup that Caps drafts is actually not that important. It's how does it work with all the CC that gets brought by Broxah and Hylissang every single time. And it makes them very flexible and very hard to play against. Hey, is that a Swain? All right. We would assume it goes bot lane, but it can, of course, be swapped around. And is that a 100% win rate Pyke for Hylissang? This is the most Fnatic draft of all time. Splyce, the Tahm Kench was good yesterday.
Yes.
It definitely was. The Ryze pick, not been too successful today for European teams. I assume it's going to go mid lane for Nisqy.
But? There's no but? I thought there was a but. Okay.
Oh, I ended the sentence. Full stop.
What else does Splyce have to draft? Because not only are they underdogs, not only are they weak in the phase of the game where Fnatic are potentially strongest, especially with Bwipo, now you've got this roaming support. You've got somebody that can sit in the lane alone. You've got this kill lane. Like, it smells like a Fnatic victory already, but is it too much confidence? Am I giving them too much kudos?
I mean, not really. They are favorites to win this, but the Tahm Kench Varus is a lane that we've seen it quite a few times. So like, it is a very safe lane to play where you have push, you have actually set up with Varus ult, and if you are building for poke early game, you can do that in this lane here, but it's just so weak late game. And the goal for Splyce, honestly, with this is before Swain hits level 6, you can do something.
Yeah.
Once he hits 6 with the Pyke, you're so scared. And it feels like the Tahm Kench just has to be on defensive duty all the time until you can actually get him into the mid lane later. Because Splyce is building for 1-3-1. Ryze one lane, Tahm Kench mid, you need a split push of Odoamne on the other side. The Gnar pick is something that I'm looking at as a potential option. We know sOAZ has mainly played tanks up in that top lane. Kennen is also available. Not that it's been successful when we saw Misfits play it in the last one. But I feel like Splyce have to almost fully commit now to the 1-3-1 because I don't think they're winning teamfights with the draft so far.
Well, you definitely don't want to pick teamfights either, you know? So you look at some of the abilities. Kennen, that's going to signal potentially some sort of tank in the top lane. Gragas, 4-0 for sOAZ. Dr. Mundo, he's 3-1, both of whom are open and available. See what are the directions they want to go. And for Splyce, this is where we get that indication.
And yeah, I mean, at the moment, show your jungler, save your top laner to see what gets played by sOAZ. This would be a surprise if it actually is a Skarner pick coming in from Xerxe. He used to play it a lot, and he's actually locking it in. So suddenly we get quite a lot of pick potential. Look at this. You have point-and-click CC from Skarner. You have point-and-click CC from Ryze. You have ulti from Varus. Like, there's a lot of CC, a lot of ways to catch up one guy. The problem is when you draft this against Fnatic, the guy you're often catching is either a bruiser or a tank.
Yep.
So you're not nuking a guy down in 2 seconds and using it to get a huge advantage. In this case here, you're often doing it against a guy who can survive for a while and then he gets back up.
Do you like a Skarner in these 1-3-1 style comps? Does it fit? And give us a few moments because Aurelion Sol, I know you're a fanboy. I know you love that champion. And I know you particularly like it on cap, so I got a little excited there. But let's go back to the Skarner. Does it fit the core identity of 1-3-1 style comps?
Well, Skarner is a very strong duelist. Oh, it's the Wukong again. It's back. I'm expecting Hylissang to be around that mid lane with Broxah. They had Sejuani and they had the Pyke as well. And they also had Gragas top lane the last time they played it. So Fnatic are basically going back to a strategy that already worked once. They won against Misfits in like 25 minutes with it. The Skarner pick, strong duelist for sure. Great pick potential at level 6 and not really any threat from the Sejuani. But man, Splyce, you cannot afford to fall behind in this game here against the Wukong in the mid lane. You have to be able to set up 1-3-1 and not even 1-3-1 anymore with the Zoe, because this is a Ryze top lane.
Also, did Nisqy just counterpick himself? I thought Wukong was sort of a counter into the likes of Zoe, something they did very well.
Not a matchup we've seen on stage. That's the thing. The Wukong last time was picked against the Yasuo.
Yep.
Nisqy clearly feeling confident in this matchup, otherwise he wouldn't grab the Zoe, or he feels like I have only one champ to play here. Could have gone Ryze mid. Did not do it. It's Ryze top lane for Odoamne against sOAZ's Gragas. So a shift from Splyce, that's now screaming play topside. You cannot just let the Ryze sit and do nothing top lane, because then the Gragas and teamfights are just way better. You have to be able to get the Ryze ahead now. Gragas is going to build a Spirit Vision and be like, yep, love life, this is perfect. Skarner, early game focus, level 6 ulti. Ryze top lane is a huge curveball and a gamble from Splyce. Ignore bot side, win top side.
Well, if you're going to roll the dice and try to upset the defending champions of the EU LCS, this is maybe how you do it. That pivot in the last second, the man on your screen, Caps, playing Wukong once again on stage.
They give effectively 5 comfort picks in this case. I mean, I'm a little unfair with the Wukong. It was only played once by Caps, but like the Pyke from Hylissang is insane. The Swain from Bwipo is insane as well. Like, it's a perfect bot lane for Fnatic.
Yep.
And it's a Ryze top lane for Odoamne. Let's see what he can do on it. His Gnar was great yesterday in teamfights, not actually due to pure split pushing. But the teamfight comp from Splyce is very weak against what we have on the side of Fnatic. Like, they're gonna die in like 2 seconds.
I mean, it's like you said, if Splyce fall behind at any point in the game, this bruiser death ball composition
it runs you over.
Is going to squash every single Splyce member. Now, we talked about the creative level ones from Fnatic. They're grouping towards the top lane, trying to play within the vision of Odo. Where is the Bone Skewer? Bone Skewer from Hylissang. If it finds Odo, he's going to be in trouble. Forced to flash already. There's no follow-up, but they'll be happy getting his summoner.
Yeah, no reason to use flash on your side to get the first blood. It is not always necessary. So, small little start by Fnatic's level 1 at Classic. Always trying to scout, okay? Where do we think we can get a small pick? And they found Odoamne sitting top in that brush here. So, what did we just say before? Splyce had to win which side?
Top.
Top side.
Yes, sir.
It has lost flash on Odoamne.
Makes it a lot more difficult.
Not a great start. What's going to happen as well with Fnatic here and with the bruiser comp they play? As we said before, with the pick composition of Splyce, you don't actually nuke anyone down. There's even cleanse on Caps' side, so if he's the target, except for the Skarner ult, he can probably cleanse and then use his clone out of vision. Bam, you don't get him down either. So let's see what happens here. I'm really looking at Splyce trying to win the top side with the Ryze, but they do have Kobbe on Varus bot lane, and before level 6, you're not too scared of the Swain, but you gotta respect him with the Pyke, because Pyke hook into a pullback from Swain, you might just die.
Deficio, you use the word Splyce needs to win top lane. You say Splyce needs to get ahead. Now, at what point? Yesterday when Splyce played against Roccat, I have a gold graph here that I want to demonstrate. What's important that I want to draw your eyes to, ladies and gentlemen, if you look at the bottom of that graph, look at the minutes. 0 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. At about 36 minutes, that was when Splyce decided they wanted to win the game. Do they have 36 minutes to do the same today?
No.
Okay.
There is too much engage and damage on the side of Fnatic. They have unlimited ways to start fights. Even the mid laner can start a fight on the Wukong. And I've seen what happens when a Wukong gets ahead in solo queue.
I can hear the fear in your voice.
So what's gonna happen, especially if you're an AD carry and Wukong has like a Duskblade, or he has a Ghostblade, and maybe there's a Stormrazor in there, is you don't even see him. Like he's clicking W, sneaks in towards you, EQs, boom.
Yep.
You're gone. Like you're actually gone. And you're like, ah, great.
Pretty sure we saw that happen to, was it Hunt Summer who got
Probably
jumped on last time Caps played this pick?
Obviously, before level 6,
Yep.
you can definitely deal with the Wukong in the laning phase. Like, his initial trading is not that scary.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that you're not playing 1v1, because there will be a jungler, a top lane. Like, sOAZ loves to roam mid on Gragas. He will do it.
Well, we'll see whether or not Xerxe can stop him, because of course Xerxe and Odo, if they can get some sort of presence or control in the top lane, that's going to help them out. You see Hylissang already with the Bone Skewer into the Swain passive. Never move combination as well, so some good damage. And then, of course, we need to keep our eyes on when Hylissang decides to roam and move. Caps and Nisqy trading very heavily back and forth.
Top lane Xerxe was looking for something early. Obviously, Predator, he needs to go back and get the boots. So typically on Skarner, you're not looking for the very early gank. You want to actually get Predator first.
Yeah.
Oh, is that Broxah mid? Oh, wait, is that Hylissang mid too?
Already 3.5 minutes on the clock.
I didn't fully commit, but...
It's already backed away. By the way, Bwipo is a minion wave up. Of course, it is pushing into Kobbe, so he'll catch up for now. But the moment that wave was pushing towards Splyce, Hilly takes the time to leave the lane. Still undefeated on Pyke this year. And you have to think that a designer somewhere went, I wonder what champion Hylissang would love to play the most. Let's make Pyke. And that's kind of how that match was made.
Yeah, which is why most teams do not want to play against his Pyke, and which is why he's won every single game so far, 7 out of 7. Will he land another one?
No.
Nope. Didn't want kaSing anyway.
No. Terrible fisherman. Can't actually find the catfish, but has found the champions. Never move into Vision of the Empire. That is solo damage from Bwipo before Hilly even jumped in. But with all the cooldowns, notice how that pressure swings back in Splyce's favor.
Well, Kobbe's now pretty low on his side.
A lot of damage.
And he's also out of mana, basically, so this trade was heavily in Fnatic's favor. They did not have to use almost anything.
And look at the gigantic 2 minion waves pushing into the tower.
He will TP back, he will TP back. It's okay. Xerxe got his boots as well. He can look for an early gank. Hard for him to find a target, though, unless you're aiming towards the top lane where you have to CC from Ryze. Might just wait for level 6. And again, we're kind of putting Splyce a bit on the clock here, saying they're the ones who needs to show us something with this Ryze and Skarner pick. Big surprises in the draft. Fnatic are happy just waiting for level 6 on Caps, Broxah, and these big engages, and then look suddenly for picks around mid.
Well, tell me what you think in terms of how much time that clock is. Right? You talked about Splyce. Xerxe is getting much closer to level 6. He's going to have that Impale. Getting closer to picking up his boots as well, tier 2 anyway, and trying to run somebody down. So at what point does the window of opportunity shut on Splyce?
I think the moment Fnatic pick up a couple of kills, it feels like then they're just going to use the draft to run them over.
Okay.
And that's kind of, I'm not going to put a time on it because it can be in 5 minutes, it can be 1 minute. Like, Wukong is hitting level 6 soon, already one of the big points we're looking at. Even if his ulti is not that insane in the early game, just the amount of damage he can deal, and how hard it is for a champ like Zoe to actually get out of it. Because she might try and ult out, but she's obviously going to go back, and then Wukong can just stay in kind of the same area. It gets really difficult. Also now bot lane. Gotta remember the kill pressure there is on the side of Fnatic with the Pyke Swain.
That combination is literally disgusting. Odo's flash again
Never
on
allowed to
cooldown.
flash.
You may as well have not taken that Summoner spell the way Fnatic are playing. And again, this is just going to allow sOAZ some more comfort, some more safety in the lane. He's up 7 CS. We caught a glimpse of that Pyke Swain combination. And of the 10 games this weekend, Deficio, 8 of our bot laners have run marksman. Only Sjokz and Bwipo have run mages, Swain and the Ryze respectively. I'm very interested to see how the Bruiser Mage duo bot lane evolves with obviously itemization changes and marksman coming back in.
Luckily, the AD carry buffs were not so huge. It just pushed mages out because Vladimir and Swain function the exact same way they did before.
Yeah.
You have the ability at level 6 or at one item to effectively one-shot an AD carry. And that doesn't matter that suddenly that items will come in a little bit earlier, because that's at like 25 or 30 minutes. In the early game, the mage will still have that advantage against certain AD carries, and in this matchup here with the Pyke on your side, Fnatic will have the kill pressure. So mages should remain viable. We're not going to see 10 different mages bot lane, but the Swain and the Vladimir for sure should stay.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. And in terms of, priority, it is a small sample size, but between weeks 1 and 7, there were 70 bot lane picks, 38 of them were marksmen. That made up 54% of the total picks being mages and bruisers, etc. It's just an interesting swing. We've got an even start. We've got level 6 there for Xerxe.
Yes, let's see.
He needs to make those impales work. He needs to get Odo or Nisqy an advantage so they can use the kit of Ryze or Zoe to maintain control over Fnatic.
It's the moment we've been waiting for. Xerxe on the Skarner takes his time, farms for level 6. First gang, to me, has to be successful. No flash on top side, and MR stacking on the side of sOAZ. He's not an easy target to get, but you do have decent damage with the Skarner. Like, you can try and go for that first kill. Right now, the Ryze pick is definitely not working because he was forced to sit without flash twice. Level 1 and now also at level 6. All right, so what are you doing in this game? You are the player that dictates the early game for Splyce. You are the guy forcing Splyce to pick a side to play around. So far, it's been the jungle. Does not benefit the laners.
Nope, not yet. But to be fair, to his credit, when he hit level 6 fairly recently, needs to look for an opportunity. And I want to keep my eyes on where it is. Of course, Xerxe, if he manages to read the situation, maybe helping out Nisqy in the mid lane, there is a possibility.
He's looking bot lane right now. They have Varus ult. No cleanse instantly to get out of it on the side of Bwipo or Hylissang, and then you can Skarner ult right after. So the focus is not on the Ryze. They leave him alone. They're looking bot side. Let's see what happens.
Okay, looking like a bit of an engage. It's a split on 2 fronts. Bwipo sidesteps everything. Hylissang's running for his life. The Ghost Water dive over the wall. He's escaped for now. Bwipo's getting a lot of damage onto kaSing. Hylissang continues to run for his life. Got that Ghost Water dive and Phantom Undertone a moment or two. Sidesteps the Sleepy Trouble bubble. Has he actually managed to sneak out?
No, he should die. He should die.
There goes the fracture. Ghost Water dive comes out.
Oh!
Actually blows the flash as well. This is frustrating for Fnatic because Nisqy gets that gold and he was behind in lane. This helps out so much.
So good setup with the Skarner here. What was very smart was once it was kaSing and Xerxe diving onto Bwipo, Hylissang actually kept Kobbe busy, the main damage dealer, which is why Bwipo got to just survive in the end, but obviously they get that first kill. That's important, get the flash as well. Bought a lot of time for obviously Caps to push in mid, and he's up 20 CS. But you needed something if you were Splyce. You needed a kill somewhere.
And listen, you said the Ryze in picks and bans was rolling the dice, was a gamble by Splyce. We talked
Big
about,
one.
We thought that's where the focus should be. Maybe that's what Fnatic thought too, and Xerxe pulls a fast one, goes bot, manages to help secure first blood, and Splyce, despite the kill, by the way, they are behind in gold because of the CS differences.
I also think they were just adapting here, saying, well, this Ryze is not getting ahead. Like, he keeps losing flash. We can't really play aggressive towards his lane yet. Let's swap it. Where can we get a kill? Bot side. I like the setup. Kobbe is forced to just deal with Hylissang, which is why they can't actually kill the Swain. And while Hylissang tried his best, if you look at the minimap, you can actually see how Broxah was sitting topside, forcing Odoamne further back, and of course Caps gets to push in mid, but Nisqy eventually gets the kill. Did use his flash, as you highlighted. There's no hourglass yet. Fnatic might try and look for a play around mid.
And of course, alternatively, both bot laners for Fnatic flash list. So Bwipo and Hylissang, Kobbe and kaSing didn't use a single summoner spell. But I think in terms of some of the back timing, look at this. Bwipo's already got that Rod of Ages completed. Moby Boots picked up for Hylissang. Combine that with the Cloud Drake, and that's a I want to go fast Pyke any day of the week.
Well, can we get that return gank bot from Splyce? Kobbe's ult is available, Xerxe's ult is there as well. If you can pick up 2 kills on a bot lane turret, that's your way to snowball the game of Splyce. It's no longer about that top side. Hylissang is around mid, as we talked about, with no flash on Nisqy. All it takes is Caps jumping in, ulting him, and he should die.
And it's so terrifying. Fnatic.
But he's so far back.
It's insane. 2 Moby boots already at 11 minutes. I can't wait to see how Fnatic decide to play the lanes.
Let's see bot lane though. This should be big for Splyce. I'm looking at 2 potential kills on their side.
All right, Chain of Corruption does find a target onto Bwipo. He's in Demonic Ascension. Hylissang steps forward, uses that Phantom Undertow, but the Devour is enough. Bwipo stays alive a very long time, but the kill is donated to Kobbe. 2-0 to Splyce, and the Fnatic faithful are silent here in Berlin.
Again, they're looking at the lane without flashes. I like the adaptation here. I like Xerxe playing towards bot lane. Caps is on his way down.
Running. There's the decoy into the Cyclone. Caps, it's only a level 1 ulti, and he's only got the Tiamat. kaSing gets dunked with a death from below.
Kobbe?
Secondary cast as well. Caps flashes forward, but Kobbe sidesteps and stays alive. Teleport's completed as Fnatic send more members to the melee. Odoamne is running for his life, but there's not enough damage behind sOAZ and Broxah. Splyce win yet another fight. sOAZ is under a little bit of trouble. Rune Prison under tower. A paddle into the behind is not going to be enough to get the kill, and Splyce ahead in kills.
Kept saying how Splyce cannot afford to fall behind in this game, and they're not falling behind. They're actually winning really hard around Kobbe, specifically on the Varus. 3 kills here. Caps, first action, used both summoners, only got an assist when he moved down to the bottom lane. The flashes were still available. Will never kill Xerxe here, and of course kaSing, while he does drop, Kobbe is left untouched at first and gets so much return damage, plus the TP coming in early from Odoamne. So good play from Splyce in the bottom lane, and instantly they swap top lane because there's the Rift Herald and they have this fed Varus.
Yep.
They're not falling behind against Fnatic, and this is a team on the side of Splyce that tends to not do a lot early game, but they've been very aggressive around the bottom side.
3-0 Kobbe's Varus. He's got Blade of the Rune King already completed. And Deficio, I'm starting to get a bit of deja vu. Do you remember the last time these teams played? It was after Rift Rivals. It was week 4 of the EU LCS. Fnatic came back as the heroes, the champions, the saviors of EU, and then lost to Splyce. Bwipo went 0-6 that game. Fnatic have been the #1 team in EU for a very long time. There was no way they were going to lose this game. I think I said those exact words in Picks and Bans. And right now, Splyce, they don't have a gold lead, but they definitely have an advantage, and it feels like they're in control of the game.
It's obviously an issue that sOAZ is probably going to be a lot more useful than the Ryze at the moment. But the fact you have a fed Varus, like, that's fantastic on the side of Splyce. He has a quick little trade. sOAZ in the end takes a bunch of damage on the way out. And one key thing is how Nisqy is played around mid. He's really respected the roams. Every time Hylissang is sitting mid lane, Nisqy's at his turret. He's not allowing Fnatic to snowball the Wukong yet. Caps has to do it on his own. While he's up in CS, did not succeed with the first play in the bottom lane, and that's big again for Splyce. I'm waiting for the next gank from Xerxe. Ulti is available on the Skarner. Why not just go back to the top lane? That's where you've been getting all your kills.
Yeah, find somebody to jump on. You
Or
see this,
dual lane.
The dual lane, I know what you mean. Looking for Bwipo and Hylissang
Yes.
is what you were meaning there. And of course, with Scuttle Crab control in the top half of the map, as well as those Moby boots, Caps and Hilly, they were looking for an opportunity, but nothing presented itself. And you're just going to give a lot of kudos here to the Fnatic squad. CS advantages in multiple lanes.
I mean,
they're maintaining this gold lead.
Sure, I agree in the CS, but I really want to shift the praise to Splyce specifically.
Yeah.
Like, this is a team where people did not expect anything from their early game. And they're going even against Fnatic right now with the Fnatic comfort comp. With all the bruisers, the Pyke and everything. Fight top lane.
All right, a lot of damage onto kaSing. He's used the cleanse. There's no flash available. Very nice stopwatch. That caught me by surprise. Death's hand comes down from Bwipo in the Cyclone. Picks up the kill, but that was a lot invested. What more can Fnatic do? They get their second kill, and they push Splyce a little further back.
I'd look for Rift Herald here. sOAZ walk mid to push out the wave, and we'll go back bot lane straight away on the Gragas. So he's making sure Splyce not getting a lot of damage on any of the turrets. As you can see here, the play is simply a numbers advantage top. Nisqy not able to move from mid. She's simply behind on the play. And Fnatic eventually secured a kill onto kaSing. While on the minimap, you can just see sOAZ holding mid and bot lane at the same time. Right back into it. Now first kill, Ghostblade completed. So once you're at level 11, rank 2 ulti, you get some lethality, that's when you start killing people.
Oh man, and 2 QSSs already. Bwipo and Hylissang have picked those up. So Xerxe's got to be so on the ball to find the right target and figure out who's going to kill. Take a look at the rest of the members. A lot of Ages continuing to stack. We've not seen a lot of Odo because he got pushed out of the game. This time around, a recipient of multiple ganks did not build up the same lead that he did yesterday. On that Gnaw, he had plus 39 CSD at 15, a phenomenal game. Played very well today. While he's not necessarily as far behind, it's going to take a while for him to have the level of impact he'll want to do.
Right, because ideally for Odoamne, you're able to push your lane and actually move and use your ulti to suddenly show up and set up a play with your team. Or you just become a late game team fighter on Ryze. He's hard to execute in the late game, especially against a lot of tanks. And you have to play it super well, so we have to see if he can actually do it. In this game here, it's not been an easy start for him. But honestly, it's probably benefited Splyce in the sense that they could just abuse the bottom lane with the Varus Tahm Kench. It's a good lane at setting up ganks. Tahm Kench ult into Varus ult, like it's great. So I like what they did. Fnatic being started, all of Fnatic are focusing top side, so this should be a free one for them. I say free, they're actually training for top lane turret, so I take that back, Trevor. I know you hate that word as well.
I hate when objectives are called free. So rarely are they actually free, it's uncontested. I think that's a bit more of correct terminology. Same way for any long-time viewers may remember Kobbe's rant on immobile champions. An immobile object is a turret, because it doesn't frickin' move.
Yes.
Low mobility champions cannot dash and jump. Golf claps for language.
Maybe the next champ that gets assigned cannot move.
Maybe.
You're just stuck in the fountain.
It can be an artillery. It needs to get picked up by other teammates.
So you actually have to pick up gold, give it the gold to the person. You will buy items, and he will sit there and just shoot long-range skill shots.
Well,
decent champ design.
Well, we'll find out. I don't think our ideas will gain much traction, but we can pitch them. We can try.
I mean, we could try. Zoe got designed, so why not?
Touche. And she can move everywhere that she wants. Was the recipient of some support from Xerxe, but they didn't find caps. It's so difficult to catch him with decoy, cleanse, and flash. It's so hard finding the right time. And
really zoomed in on
Rift Herald being summoned in the mid lane. Okay, so Fnatic, they've got themselves a 2,000 gold lead. They take their second tower of the game, despite the fact that Splyce have had a very strong start. They've got Kobbe pretty fed. I need to see the next step now. Play this mid game and play this map.
Yeah, it really slowed down after they stopped looking for kills with Xerxe and Kobbe and kaSing together. And Fnatic have just slowly been getting down a bunch of turrets. They're getting items on the Wukong in the mid lane, so his bunch of potential just goes higher and higher. And you're hitting the point now as an AD carry, where it's not great, because you are going to do less damage than the mage and the bruiser in the mid lane, and it's kind of a feel-bad moment until you start getting towards the third item for Kobbe, and then you have to execute these teamfights, and kaSing needs to do what he did yesterday on Tahm Kench, like perfect protection for his AD carry. If that doesn't happen, the backline dies.
Yep, the 200 IQ play that Ender was breaking down in our pre-match have that level of impact so that Kobbe can get the time down. And of course, just to remind everybody what the stakes are, both of these teams are locked into playoffs. Fnatic, if they win this game, then they really set themselves up well for at least a top 2 placement. I'll tell you how well, Deficio. Next week, if Fnatic win today, there are 1,024 possibilities across the 10 games. And in 868 of those possibilities, which is 85%, Fnatic will at least get a tiebreaker for first. But it all starts with knocking over Splyce right now to get themselves the odds in their favor. Hylissang will escape, didn't even use the QSS.
And the thing to highlight here for Splyce and why winning this game would be so huge for them, what they're trying to avoid is entering playoffs as number 6. Because if you are the lowest seed, if you make a semifinal, you will face the number 1 seed, which is right now looking like Fnatic if they win the game here. And that's not the semifinal you're looking for if you're trying to make it to Worlds.
Yeah, of course, 3 plays 6 in quarterfinals, and the lowest seed will play the highest seed in the semifinals. So if by some miracle it happens, but it's going to be a tough task with Splyce's most recent run of form. But maybe this is the game that turns it around.
Yeah, I mean, so G2 just showed today that we don't need to care about the last couple of weeks. Like, G2 showed was one of the best games they've played in 5 weeks since they came back from Rift Rivals. They turned it on, they played clean, it was great to watch. Splyce in this game did not get destroyed in the early game by Fnatic. Sure, they're behind, but based on how their early games have been in the past,
Yeah,
they should have been way further down.
We expected them to get absolutely rickrolled.
There's actually some win conditions here. Kobbe specifically with the 2 items. People are forced to build QSS on side of Fnatic because of the Skarner. Kobbe's damage right now, while it's not perfect just yet, if you have a longer team fight, the Varus will eventually kill the Bruisers. So I'm looking for Splyce still to do something in the game here. The problem is once Fnatic gets to start something like Baron, they're gonna force an engage. And that engage is multiple tanks and a Wukong flying in your face.
I'm so torn. Like, I don't know how to feel about this game. Fnatic have got a 3,000 gold lead, but it feels like Splyce have the tools.
Here we go.
That's a flash suppression onto Hilly. He's going to get knocked backwards. Buys some time with the Phantom Undertow, runs for his life. Kobbe's trying to shut him down with the Hail of Arrows. The piercing arrow does not find
he
the
just
kill.
healed back up.
Here comes Caps. Caps is looking for the Cyclone. Splyce are all stacked up, but he can't close the distance. The slow is very powerful. Defensive flashes over the wall. Demonic Ascension gets one. Caps finds another, and Fnatic may be able to peel for Baron.
And that's the Bruiser comp. We said this in Champs League. Yes, Splyce, you have a lot of pick potential, but the guys you're trying to kill are tanky, they're mobile, they're hard to shut down. The Pyke, great play from Hylissang, just dancing around, not dying initially, sets up then the re-engage from Fnatic. They're starting the Baron. Nisqy's trying.
Oh, there's no flash for Xerxe. There is no blast cone. He has the smite available, but how does he get over the pit? Odo and Nisqy are coming in. Realm Warp's available for Odo.
They gotta go now.
It might be too late. 2,000 hit points. Xerxe's going in. Baron is stopped. Xerxe is dead. Odo shuts down Cap, so it's a 1-for-1. Baron's down to 1,100. Where's the Battle Star? It's picked up by Fnatic. Broxah secures
Kobbe's
the
here.
objective. Now Splyce are trying to turn this around. Odo is trying to rattle down the fire. Nisqy misses a paddle shot, flashes over the wall. Kobbe's piercing arrow falls ever so slightly short, and a Sleepy Trouble bubble kills sOAZ. Splyce get themselves a few kills, but the Baron lands on 3.
Oh, notice how Fnatic stop the damage on the Baron just when Xerxe enter and they kill him instantly and then move back towards the Baron. There's a very hectic situation, a lot of communication back and forth, but they managed to secure the objective and 3 members ended up staying alive with the Baron. Splyce trying the hardest to defend after losing that initial fight. So crucial that Hylissang stayed alive during that initial engage. Just got the HP back from his passive, and what happens after? Well, they actually turn it around. Let's see, it's a pick. Initially, this is what the comp can do from Splyce, but it's so hard to take down Hylissang instantly. You don't get enough CC on him, and notice the HP coming back.
Oh, so
keeps
close.
him alive, and now you can re-engage, even with Caps not getting in range. If you look at your minimap, Ryze is in the bottom lane, not TPing anywhere, and they can't actually get Kobbe over the wall. But look at this play here. Everyone's dropping low eventually. A lot of players from Splyce around. Nisqy flashes in and out. Xerxe is waiting for the Ryze ult to get in the pit. And the moment he actually walks in, even without the Ryze ult, everyone yells on the side of Fnatic, stop DPS, kill the Skarner, and then go back to Baron.
Oh, he's getting so nervous. If Nisqy had found a paddle star at the right time, maybe it would have been an opportunity, but Broxah able to smite that down in the ensuing closeout. Kobbe channels his TP, but just can't get close enough to stick to the bruisers. Oh, we're right back into the team fight. While we're in the replay, Splyce got the dragon. Hylissang
split pushing, baby.
it down on the bottom lane.
Let's go.
This dude is so good on Pyke. And Steelback says he thinks he's in love with Hylissang. And I can see why.
Is definitely one of the best Pyke players in the world, if not the best at the moment.
Mastery of that champion. Easily escapes yet again. Under pressure, under threat, he's always in the right place in the right time. And with Baron, with a 6k gold lead, Fnatic are just shoving down this lane. They're already onto the inhibitor turret in the mid lane. And that hope that Splyce had built up starting to dwindle. Caps uses the decoy to escape with his life, and there's no further follow-up, luckily having that cleanse.
And we mentioned the cleanse much earlier in the game for this specific reason. When you just try and kill the Wukong, if you get the initial CC onto him, you might keep him in check and you take him down before he can do anything, but he just cleanses W's and you don't actually kill him. Yep. And that's really frustrating for Splyce, and why this pick comp was so hard to execute, because there's no easy target to pick off.
Yeah, and I think Hylissang is just solo pushing.
He's gonna go top and take the turret now.
It's so clever, of course. Hylissang, one of the members that survived with that Baron buff. 2 Fnatic members were downed in the previous fight, and Fnatic, of course, if they pick up a win here, they will be in sole control of first place. They will be the only team in the EU LCS sitting with 12 wins under their belt. They will have a monumental advantage next week. 85% of those scenarios with him ending at least in a tiebreaker scenario. And Fnatic have got all the tools they need to finish this game out.
And note how, during this game, at level 6, Splyce had ways to win. They played around bottom side, they could use the Varus ulti and the Tahm Kench ulti really well. Once you hit that mid game, and they were constantly waiting for Kobbe to get enough items, everything slowed down for them. They no longer found the picks around the dual lane. None of the other players, because the Ryze has been behind all game long, or at least even with the Gragas, so there's no real kill pressure. They were missing a lane then to play around, and Fnatic got enough time to look for the picks, get the turrets down, find another one here. It's just Hylissang right now.
It is, but look at this. You know, I actually think he probably could have won that fight. Got himself the serrated Dirk, as well as that Caulfield's hammer.
I believe it's called Dirk.
Let's say it that way.
I know in Germany,
we're in Germany.
it's Dirk.
I'm allowed to say it that way. But, you know, again, I have more questions than answers today because Splyce's early game, I wasn't ready for. I was happy to see the adaptation. I was happy to see them punish Bwipo on the bottom lane.
Let's see what they can do now. Odoamne's going in.
Well, Odoamne is alone for now, but there's no collapse from Fnatic. It's a fight on multiple fronts. Sleepy Trouble Bubble slows down sOAZ is engaged. Bwipo in Demonic Ascension form is so difficult to kill, and he uses that flash to escape. But look at the damage from caps. Kobbe gets punished by the mid lane assassin Wukong, and Broxah finds another. Hilly, where is the bone skewer? Fishing, fishing, fishing! He finds Odoamne! Cap sends him packing. How did he curve the bullet? How did he find Odo?
Oh, you'll always find him. Splyce, they look for a fight here. Nisqy's trying something, but he's on his own. Skarner cannot help him. Notice how it was Odoamne alone that ulted into the backline. He did not get the Skarner with him or anything. And Fnatic just walk away. All the QSSs were smart. Makes it even harder for Splyce to utilize their comp. And eventually, Wukong will find his way to the team fight, and he doesn't care if it's a slow game because these items are just insane on him.
Stormrazor, Tiamat, Ghostblade, and he shredded Kobbe in about 2 seconds. I'm hoping it's going to be in the middle bit.
I really feel like Xerxe should be with Odoamne here when they're ulting in. Then maybe you can try and catch a target. But right now, you're not getting anywhere. You're dealing just with a bunch of tanks. Bwipo flashes out.
Follow Kobbe in the middle.
See the damage.
Oh, this is so painful to watch.
He even hit kaSing and not Kobbe.
Oh.
He didn't get the maximum amount of damage down. Oh, let's see Hylissang.
Oh, kaSing did not get his 200 IQ devour. Like, literally, just missed that front minion.
A little bit of a hitbox thing as well.
Hey, shh. Okay, I want to praise Hilly.
We did.
I mean, that's a pretty clear message that I'm seeing from Caps. I don't know what you're seeing there. It's a lot of damage.
Yeah. Wukong, one of those champions you don't want to deal with as an AD carry.
Nope.
Now, 16 in this game. Double lethality, Stormrazor is there. I really actually want to see him get to 1v1 Kobbe. I believe he will kill him in half a second. He will
that quick?
EQ and he's dead.
Okay. Okay, Duskblade, Stormrazor. Yeah, okay. We'll see if Caps gets an opportunity to do so.
I just want to see it.
Well, FYI, Fnatic 10k gold up, basically got this game in the bag. Supers down the middle lane. Deficio next week, some tough games for Fnatic. They play Rockats and Unicorns of Love. They've got, with the end of this game, sorry, I said that with a pretty straight face actually. If they close this out, they go into next week with a clear 1-game advantage if they win out there. #1 team in the regular season again, that berth into the semifinals, guaranteed appearance in Madrid. And it's looking rosy for the 6-man roster of Fnatic.
Yeah, Reckless sitting with the team right there, as you guys saw on the coach cams a few times.
Also as surprised by Hylissang's bone skewer, as we were.
Yeah, I mean, he did say yesterday after the game that, you know, people voted for him to win Player of the Game. He was like, well, Hylissang on Pyke was absolutely insane and should have gotten it. See what happens around mid.
Okay, so Odo almost got insta-gift with an EQ combo. The barrel comes out and Odo continues to run for his life, but Bone Skewer catches onto Xerxe. There's the Impale. Caps continues to look for more. Nobody's down just yet. kaSing's grey health is pop, but the body slam is perfect. A defensive Realm Warp will not buy enough time. Splyce are routed and running for their lives. Hilly is hunting and fishing for more, but nobody from Splyce is available just yet. Fnatic, man, they are hunting. Dude, this just feels so bad. Splyce have families, Fnatic. What are you doing? Xerxe is dodging and ducking and diving, and Broxah sends him to the fountain. Nisqy continues to run for his life. Hylissang finds him, sets it up. for Fnatic to run.
Oh, look at Kobbe now!
Not done yet, but look, because of the greed, because of the over-chasing, Kobbe's got some time. Will he be able to turn this around? He's got at least one kill.
Oh, give him a chance, man. He saw the Penta in his eyes, but now everyone's just running away. Hylissang back in.
It is indeed. Death from Below's on cooldown. The arrows come out from Kobbe, and that shuts him down. So Fnatic punished ever so slightly for the over-aggressive play. And they got a lot of damage done. And
right, initial engage here. Caps gets in with the combo, gets ult in as well, gets so much damage onto the Ryze, forces their defensive move, and now if you're Splyce, you actually can't really stop Fnatic from running at you. And if they could, Kobbe could deal a ton of damage, but he's forced to constantly run. He doesn't get to auto at all. And Fnatic win the initial fight, and his way gets a little bit trolly, looking for a bunch more kills.
I mean, to use a legacy term, there's a little bit of oinking.
A little bit.
A little bit, you know.
You know, no pro players, I believe, in Europe says it anymore after Sven left.
I'm aware of that fact.
Yeah, but the viewers might not be.
Got to remember, like, I'm the old man in the broadcast.
I didn't say it for you. I said it for the viewers.
Oh, okay, great. Thank you for that clarification.
Yeah. There you go.
Well,
remember, I'm not casting for you.
Okay, touche. It does feel that way, though.
I'm going to highlight. That's true. Only wing condition for Splyce. Kobbe. Right now.
Yeah,
double Infernal.
But
not obviously benefiting that much yet.
Okay, give me a percentage, right? So Kobbe's the guy. How many % chance can he bring this game back? Answer that question after this Baron play. Because Xerxe, no flash available, no blast cone. Either Realm Warp is up. I'm just looking for ways that he could possibly steal Baron. The Death Ball of Fnatic, you don't want it to start rolling. Ooh. Swing and a miss from Hilly.
That was important for Xerxe. No flash on his side. If he got caught there, he might have just died. Maybe kaSing would have to flash for him. Another one. Just passing by. But Fnatic back to pushing the lanes and can always look for the Baron again. Will also be an Elder Drake in a couple of minutes.
Don't dodge my question. Out of 100% chances to come back, Kobbe's the guy. What percentage chance do you give Splyce?
Right now?
Yes.
2 to 3%.
Whoa.
5. Make it 5. I'm a nice guy.
That would be the miracle comeback. Odo's used the Realm Warp, by the way, trying to chase down Hilly, but with those Moby boots and Ghost Blade.
And this is the thing. Splyce right now cannot afford to lose a single fight, but they're now starting the Baron here. Oh. They have to protect Kobbe in these team fights. He does not have flash.
Teleport's coming in from sOAZ. He's in the middle of the team.
There you go. There you go.
There's Kobbe. 2.5%. I see Deficio's eyes agreeing.
I said 5.
Okay, we're up to 5. Splyce at 34 minutes. Find a crucial pick. And sOAZ's teleport completes as well. So that ability to split push is limited now. And Splyce, they're looking for another target. The trouble bubble will not be more for Broxah. And Splyce have bought some time.
Kobbe can now go back and spend 3,000 gold on his side. He did not lose the Baron for it. They got a kill onto sOAZ. I'm up to 6.5% now on the side of Splyce.
Oh, 6.5%. You've tripled their odds because of one kill, because of one play.
That's another item on your AD carry. His flash is soon ready. Here's the thing about Wukong. Absolutely insane once he's getting, like, you know, the 2 to 3 items.
Yes.
Full late game, once you have defensive items to actually protect Kobbe, you can stop Caps from one-shotting him. You gotta be quick though. kaSing on the Tahm Kench will also be crucial.
Yep.
And never split up from your team against Fnatic's comp.
Okay, so Splyce have got a lot of tools available to them. Look down the sides of your screen. No flash on sOAZ, Caps, and Hilly for a little while longer, 20 to 30 seconds, and then you can start seeing the guys playing probably around the Baron. It is still a 10,000 gold lead for Fnatic. But very importantly for Splyce, flashes for Odo, Xerxe, Nisqy, Kobbe, also becoming available very, very soon.
And this is where Splyce tend to win games once they get past 35 minutes and that Nexus is still alive. It's kind of the key win condition is do not lose your Nexus in 35 minutes and you can actually win games.
It's the only way Splyce have really won games.
We're here right now, and even if it's so hard for them to do it and it's so hard for them to play against this bruiser comp on the side of Fnatic, there is hope. Kobbe does not have any defensive options on his side except for the Tahm Kench.
Assume all items are equal. 4 items to 4, 5 items to 5. Which composition is stronger at this stage in the game?
I mean, Fnatic, if they get the full engage, should just take down Splyce. But let's see what happens. Kobbe level 16 Baron is started.
kaSing has used Abyssal Voyage. 6,500 hit points. There's the Bone Skewer onto Hilly. It's on cooldown for a few more seconds. A little bit of a tongue lashing onto Hylissang, but there's no further follow-up. And Splyce have interrupted the Baron. It's buying more time.
Fnatic has slowed down a bit. They're no longer just all in engaging on every opportunity here. They're actually respecting that they must try and get down this AD carry in time. Oh, this
Deficio, what is the
big one?
What is the percentage counter? Keep me updated. It was 6.5.
Let's put it to 8% for now.
8% chance. Odds coming back into the game. Something we didn't necessarily say out loud, but Splyce picked up a second Infernal Drake when we were in one of the replays of how Fnatic crushed them. With Elder up in 1.5 minutes,
Let's put
two
it to
Infernals,
10% with that double Infernal on this side.
and a stopwatch plus flash for Kobbe.
100%!
No, let's not get carried away, okay? We don't need overly dramatic statements.
Also, a stopwatch on an AD carry is actually so hard to use properly.
Yep.
Because it obviously also puts you in a tough spot. Because the moment they jump you, use the stopwatch, you're not actually dealing any damage. And you are the damage dealer in the late game for Splyce. And the moment you get out of it, unless you have a Tahm Kench ready to save you, you just die right there. So it's gonna be tough for Kobbe to use it properly in this fight here. Fnatic are still the ones in control, looking for the perfect engage. Notice how Caps will always try and find a flank. If he gets into that back line, if he instantly ults, he's actually gonna knock up kaSing, so kaSing can't devour.
Oh, so difficult to deal with. And of course on the side of Fnatic, 4 members with that QSS. Hilly's been sitting on that Ghost Blade for a little while. They've got so many tools to quite literally just delete somebody when an opportunity presents itself. Hilly's going forward with that Ghost Water dive and waiting, looking for an opportunity to skewer a member of Splyce. That 10k gold lead becomes less significant with each passing minute because you eventually get item capped, and Splyce are catching up.
And the reason, of course, the percentage is still so low is it's only Kobbe who's actually even against his counterpart in terms of items. Like mid lane, you are behind still with Nisqy, top lane with Odoamne. If you can execute the fight with the Ryze, it's fantastic, but otherwise playing the Gragas is going to be way easier. Fnatic is on the Baron, they have full map control. It is spotted now.
Too late, simply too late. This will get rushed down before Splyce can even arrive.
Oh, he almost got there.
Xerxe thought about flashing into the pit, but Fnatic sneak away the Baron.
Elder Drake
Warp manages to get Splyce into Elder. Xerxe's the one with Smite, but Kobbe's got a lot of damage.
And it's going to be a double Infernal Elder Drake for Splyce. That is so huge. Fnatic's on the way. Turn and fight, turn and fight.
Baron versus Splyce. With Elder Dragon, Splyce looking for the engage. That's a skewer onto Odo, but there's no further follow-up. Sleepy Trouble Bubble, nobody's there. Splyce have lost positioning on the mid lane. Will Fnatic go for the inhibitor? No. It's a trade of mega buffs.
It is. I would have loved to see Splyce just instantly try and turn for the fight, but Fnatic did step away as fast as possible. Mid-inhib goes down, but I feel like Splyce was almost the best trade you could have gotten. This gives you a chance to get a huge fight now and shut down the Baron buff if you find the engage.
Oh, need to find what happens. Skewer onto kaSing, never move will buy some time. Kobbe steps forward.
Wukong's dead!
But look at the damage. How did that happen? Xerxe and Odo, they take down Caps. It's at the cost of another inhibitor turret, and we are 40 minutes into this game. The percentage counter continues to grow.
Oh, it's definitely going up right now with this Elder Drake buff. Splyce suddenly, I struggle to put it straight at 50% just yet, still based on how the game has played out, but we're getting very close. Splyce have been doing well. Good trade for Elder Drake, being so far down. They lost mid-inhib. Hylissang should get out in time with the Baron buff. Yep. You know what? This game suddenly feels wide open.
It really, really does. Deficio, coming into this game,
you know what? Give me 50% for now.
That much? 50%! Bone Skewer catches kaSing. He escapes with the use of the cleanse. Tower number 3 falls. Elder Dragon and 3 Drakes empowering it is allowing Splyce to push confidently forward. I was going to say the point, coming into this game, Deficio, Fnatic were the team with the highest combined kills per minute. They have bloody games. They wreck your face. Splyce were the lowest combined kills per minute. And right now, this is a Splyce tempo game.
Caps always hovering to the side, has not built QSS in this game. It's full damage. And he dies very quick to a Elder Drake double Infernal Splyce. The lack of QSS makes sense because Caps' job is to sneak in, instantly try and burst someone down, but it is risky because you have the Skarner just waiting to click ult on him.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this stream at home, jump into chat and answer the question. Can Splyce win this game? Yes or no? Deficio, the odds are
50-50.
50-50 at 41 minutes. Yes or no, can Splyce win this game? We will be tracking your votes in a moment or two. Splyce are on the verge of a potential epic, monumental, magical comeback. And this would also put Fnatic tied for first at 11 wins and 5 losses. But holy moly, Splyce have to pull off America.
And let's set up the fights here. Perfect fight for Fnatic is a flank engage where they get to Kobbe in the back line. Perfect engage for Splyce is where simply they stop Fnatic from using the initial all-in, and Kobbe gets time to deal damage. He wants long team fights in his favor.
Team fights, if they can get the time. Kobbe's got that GA completed. 50-50 basically on the vote. Splyce, they had the vote initially, and Fnatic continue to push forward. The decoy of Caps gets dropped down, but Splyce's inhibitors coming up in the middle lane. Both of the buffs have worn off respectively.
Oh, I like it. I like what I'm seeing here. Remember also on the side of Splyce, it is triple damage comp with the Ryze top lane. So it's not just about Kobbe, it's just the AD carry getting to late game now is so huge. Odoamne can still be a huge threat if he's ignored on the Ryze here. So we have to see in the following fight. All-in engage from Fnatic is so powerful. If it works, instantly win the fight. If not, Splyce can win it.
Fnatic do not want to fight soon. Caps' Mercurial Scimitar, it is on cooldown. When we were looking at that vote, it was used. kaSing gets caught, forced to flash away. That's one more cooldown not available to him. Xerxe is looking for an opportunity to retarget to impale. Cannot find anybody. Nisqy just sidesteps, and Deficio, the Baron power play, minus 900 gold. Of course, because Splyce got Elder, got towers, got kills. And now Splyce, they're looking to defend their base. It is in shambles. They have nothing left to fall back to, and they are trying to channel a defense worthy of Leonidas and the Spartans. Chain of Corruption's going to start to spread. Broxah's going to escape with his life for now.
Xerxe did not want to use ult on the tank. There's QSS on Sejuani. At this point, there's QSS on all of them. You got to ult something. If you are Xerxe, unless you want to wait for it to be on cooldown, and then you go for it. Gotta remember the full late game with things like a Skarner ult. It might not be possible to get the full duration, but if you can just get a small stun with it, where you stop a combo that can kill your backline, can still be worth it on the side of Splyce. But notice the damage they are able to deal, even against a tanky member like the Sejuani, who's built mainly supportive tank items to obviously make sure his carries are doing better. But it's been a tough game for Fnatic in the late game. They've controlled the Barons, but that great Ryze ulti into the Elder Drake set up a good trade for Splyce earlier.
Okay, theoretical question for you, Deficio. Now the fact that Fnatic have to build, QSSs into the Mercurial Scimitars on multiple members, or sell them, get rid of them.
They just did.
Doesn't this give a little bit of an advantage to Splyce now? While the gold is slightly less effective while it's still a QSS, or now the fact that, for example, Bwipo, he doesn't have it at all. Has Hourglass, of course.
Yeah, I think because we've gotten this far in the game now, Splyce are not as scared of just getting completely one-shot during the engage, and they have enough damage to kill tanks, which gives them a great advantage once the fights break out. But do not underestimate Caps on the Wukong here. Yeah. Even if you only get Kobbe in a GA, that's at least a big deal for them. Here's a potential fight.
All right, Realm Warp already disengages everybody. Nisqy's down to 50%. The Bone Skewer catches onto Xerxe. He's forced to flash away.
Caps is coming.
50% off. Caps gets locked in place for a few seconds. The Cyclone is wrecking face along with the Demonic Ascension. Splyce have lost one. Xerxe runs for his life.
Kobbe's dealing damage.
Kobbe's got the GA and he's shredding through sOAZ's HP bar. The piercing arrow takes down sOAZ, and Nisqy paddles down Bwipo.
Oh, it's not over yet, kaSing.
It's just him right now. There's no support. Nobody got inside his belly. It's a 2-for-1 in favor of Splyce.
Remember what we said here. If Splyce do not lose Kobbe in the initial engage, they can turn it around and win the fight. Odoamne died, but Kobbe was standing there with the GA, full HP, just hammering away. He snipes down sOAZ. Baron is alive. They can secure this buff. Elder Drake coming up in a minute, so there's no trade to be had. What a team fight for Splyce.
EU LCS fans, raise your votes. Can Splyce win this game? They have a Baron under their control. They were down 10,000 gold. And what is the percentage chance now, Sir Deficio?
70% Splyce, baby, with the Baron buff and soon to be an Elder Drake, but they still need to win the fights. It's an initial engage from Splyce that actually does hurt Nisqy, and then notice, Caps, top of your screen, sneaks in. He's spotted by that ward just before, so he gets ulted by Kobbe, and now all the damage on Odoamne. Kobbe is still feeling healthy. He has kaSing right behind him. and notice the damage he can deal once he gets enough time against the tanks. Great snipe onto sOAZ, and Nisqy secures the kill onto the Swain here, so it's Splyce favored. I think a little bit frisky in the end.
Whoa, 73% of the vote, matching the odds that Deficio has laid upon them. Splyce were given a 2% chance to win this game 20 minutes ago.
Quickly changed to 5.
Has significantly grown since then. Splyce on the offense, 2.5 minutes. Baron and part minions down middle. And remember, this is the second Elder Dragon. If Splyce are able to secure this, that could be all they need.
Caps is behind them right now in their little tri-brush around the right side. He's sneaking in with ult. He's not spotted this time. Here we go!
The Cyclone is destroying Splyce. Explosive cost splits him up even further. Kobbe's able to flash away. GA's going to get popped, but there's simply not enough time. Fnatic are all stuck on top of him. 73% of the fans believed in Splyce, and Caps silences them, shutting down Splyce. Odo, the last member remaining,
Got him.
gets a solitary
shield?
kill onto Caps before he is taken down. And Nisqy's the last man remaining, trying to find Hilly. Gets him with a sleepy trouble bubble. The QSS was used. The Battle Star takes him out. That may be enough to slow this down.
Yeah, some really big individual players here. Nisqy making sure Fnatic can actually not get anything, because sOAZ is still low. If they start Elder Drake, Nisqy might just kill them. Fnatic won the fight. Beautiful engage from Caps, but they're not able to win the game straight away.
The two unkilled members of the game, Broxah 2-0-12, Nisqy 4-0-5 again. Come out of a big fight unscathed.
Wait, he's just started this one.
That's a teleport that was just coming into Elder Drake while we're in this replay.
Perfect engage, not spotted from Caps. You cannot ask for more. Remember what I said, when you get onto the Tahm Kench as well, he can't instantly save anyone. So you get the perfect engage. And that's why Fnatic win this fight here. Kobbe GA is gone. He just goes down before he can deal any damage. But some of the small plays happening now. First, Odoamne. This kill onto Caps is huge for Splyce. That's one big carry down.
Word.
Yeah, he dies after, but now it's Nisqy's turn. And he dances around, flashing onto Hylissang. sOAZ is low, and this delays the game. Elder Drake being started. Fnatic are not around with 5 members. Caps is running. Hylissang as well.
This is the second Elder. This is the second
Wibbo's
Elder.
gonna die.
Here comes Broxah. Smite is available in the pit, but it's Bwipo. He's already down. 5 versus 4. Elder Dragon is stolen. Broxah takes it. Berlin erupts in cheers, but it's not over yet as Hilly tries to disengage the fight.
Not only did he take the Elder Drake, he landed the perfect ulti right after slowing down all of Splyce so they could not chase. They'd already killed the Swain. Man, this game is insane. They just keep trading back and forth. You might win a fight, doesn't mean you win the game.
50 minutes is approaching. It is still a 9,000 gold lead for Fnatic, but Splyce do not give a monkeys because they are winning the crucial engages and holding on to their base.
And we're going to 90% here for Splyce with this Elder Drake. They have everything they need to win this game now. Only problem is Kobbe has no flash, no GA, and Caps has flash in a few seconds. You know what that means? Kobbe might die instantly.
And you're still giving them 90%?
Hey, 10% to Fnatic on trying to execute that fight. If that backfires, game's over.
Oh man, one more engage. One more time into the breach. One more fight.
Wait, ignore everything I just said.
Why?
Broxah got the Elder Drake.
Yes.
We're back to 50-50.
Broxah stole it. Okay, right. So you under the impression that...
I'm sorry, everyone.
It's all good.
I got so into it.
FYI, color casters never listen to play-by-play casters during team fights because we yell a lot and say nonsense. So when I yelled Broxah stole the Elder, he genuinely didn't register it, all right? It's just one of those like lovers' quarrels. Accept it, move on.
Also,
percentage resets.
We said 50-50 right there. A nightmare scenario as a caster. Epic game, big moments, late game, and you make a call that dumb. I am so sorry. We're right back into it. Fnatic with the Elder Drake, as I said before.
50-50. One more fight. I mean, everything else you said was still true.
Yeah, still no flash on Kobbe, and there's flash on Caps. Obviously, the Elder Drake is not huge because they only have a Cloud Drake.
Yes.
But you have enough tools now. He sold his boots as well on the Wukong. He's just looking to one-shot someone, ideally the AD carry.
All right, let's see whether or not the fans have changed their opinion. 73% in favor of Splyce being able to win span. Yes or no, can Splyce win this game? Middle inhibitor falls under the guise of Elder Drake. It is still ticking for Fnatic, and they're going to look for another one. Remember, no boots on Cap, so he has to choose his moment perfectly The
Fnatic
Fnatic
favorite
fans
now.
are coming out in force, and there are a lot of them in Berlin, because this house was like a library when Splyce started winning fights.
It's looking better and better for Fnatic if they can get down this inhib as well top. Bot lane turret is staying alive for now, but that means Odoamne is gone from a potential fight. caps is sneaking around, not finding his engage.
Oh, well, this is so tense. Look at the votes, still in favor of Fnatic. 60% of you believe that Splyce cannot win this game. 1 minute till the next Baron. Our third Elder will be up a few minutes after that.
And you know what, Trevor?
Tell me.
Splyce got an Elder, and Fnatic just got an Elder.
Yes?
Yes. Who will get the third one?
I'll tell you, just try listen, okay?
I will. I just praised Broxah as well for getting the Elder Drake. Anyway, we don't care about that anymore. It's gone forever. Cut it out of the VoD. Instead, Splyce.
Hashtag superior analyst.
Flash is ready on the carries. Much better odds now on their side. Still no boots, of course, on the Wukong. Will probably never come back in this game. Why would he need it? He needs to kill people, not run fast.
I love this. Again, this game just continues to deliver. And 20 seconds to Baron, this is going to be the natural follow-up, maybe the natural conclusion to this game.
And just imagine, Splyce winning after being far down. Splyce looking like they were done in this game. We'll make sure we have a tie for first place between 4 teams, and they're trying to catch Vitality just above them.
And you know what's even more exciting, Deficio? Both of these teams are in our playoffs. Both of these teams could meet in our best of 5. And look at this damage onto Odo. He's going to get devoured just in case time. But Hylissang's already dead. Xerxe gets the impale onto Bwipo. He goes golden. He's done is stunned in the background. It's Odoamne that's down. Kobbe follows quickly thereafter. The 10% play Deficio is talking about has happened. kaSing is killed next. And caps finds the flank, he finds Splyce, and he shuts them down. Xerxe is the last man standing as Nisqy's trying to use that portal jump. He's going to get taken out. Gigantic applause from backstage, and Fnatic have done it.
That's how you secure your first place. You go all the way to the late game against Splyce, and you find the perfect team fight.
Look at the player cams. Look at Fnatic. The elation, the celebration. One of the craziest games I have had the pleasure of casting ends with Fnatic taking down Splyce.
What an epic game. So much credit to Splyce for holding on in this game, getting to late game, making it at least a 50-50. But Fnatic always had the engage. And when we saw the last fight, all the focus was on 4 Fnatic players. We forgot about 1. It was caps. He snuck his way in the back. He kills 2 carries on the side of Splyce, and he wins the whole thing for his team. That's a hero moment right there.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
That's League of Legends.
Deficio, last year, when G2 needed to play in quarterfinals, and it was last split maybe, Game 5, PerkZ found that flank that shut Splyce out. This game, caps finds that flank, that X-Factor moment. You talked about it just a few minutes earlier. You said 10% play, it's on caps.
That was with the Elder Drake, my friend. But yes, you're making fun of me. I hate you.
Unbelievable. And it's crazy. And I think to myself, what if Splyce could have that stronger early game, because their late game is so solid. With a 10,000 gold lead, they defended for 35 minutes.
It is true. They managed to get to a point where Kobbe stayed alive during the engages. The gold graph doesn't look great, obviously, for Splyce, but this was a very close game the last 25 minutes. Don't get fooled just by the graph itself. And I'm just saying, like, give me 5 of these in each playoff series.
Yes, I would love to lose my voice casting this. Guys, PGL, Broxah will be joining us to try and break down this insane game, as well as some of the MVP candidates for the split so far.
And while we made a bit of fun around the Elder Drake after, when he actually got it and then ulted the 5 players to get out right after, that was such a huge play for Fnatic, because if they lost that Elder Drake, as I said, it would be a 90% chance for Splyce with double Infernal to just walk it down and win it.
Look at the reaction. Look at caps. Oh, that is absolutely fantastic.
But, they might have just locked in the first place.
I have one quick thing to add. The longest game of the split was 53 minutes and 36 seconds. Fnatic broke a new record, 53 minutes and 37 seconds. The longest, most dramatic, most exciting game of the split. And kudos to Splyce for giving us one hell of a performance. The late game was mind-blowing.
It was almost there.
It was something.
We started believing, the chat started believing, and they did so many things correct in the late game.
I do need to jump and move on, Deficio. That was awesome. One last thing, player of the game, guys. Broxah, Hylissang, Caps, go vote on LOL Esports. You know how to do it. We're going to head on stage with Laure standing by with Bwipo.
Thank you very much, Trevor, and thank you, Bwipo, for joining me. You're laughing, I'm laughing. What was this game? Tell me.
I have no idea. I think we were in control of the game and it was going in a good pace, but then we called to end the game, or Caps did, when I don't know who we killed, but Skarner was really low HP running away, and we were just, let's end. If we zone them, we can end. And we tried, and we eventually just got whittled down and poked down by Zoe, and then I have no idea what happened after that. I just don't know.
How did you get back on track after that?
I think we just calmed down, and we were trying to figure out how to play team fights, like, perfectly. Like, not perfectly, but, like, how do we win? And we eventually realized, you know what, like, Caps just get a J and just run it down. Like, apparently every time you flash in and just int it, you kill 5 people, so just go. And, well, that's what we tried, and apparently it worked.
Well, you had many good news this weekend. So this victory, the playoffs, congratulations on this one.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, but we're going to have to make it quick this time. So we're going to head directly to the LCS post-game lobby with Broxah. Take it away, Sjokz.